I'm sure you guys saw some of the news already, what's going on with China. We talked about it and we made a video a few days ago highlighting the importance of the current concern. So Dow Jones, NASDAQ market, this is the crazy part. Dow slides, NASDAQ market climbs as Bitcoin hits record highs. For those that did not see, Bitcoin did hit new highs of like 1095, something like that. So Bitcoin is pushing up because of the weather, right? Markets look to regain momentum. But the really wild part about this is that what was originally causing the market to drop during the pre-market session is what we talked about a few days ago. And that is that right now, there is a current, what do you want to call it? Uncertainty between US and China. I also saw this tweet and I'm confused on if this is trade war or actual war. I'm trying to look into it. I can't find anyone else talking about it. US prepares for long war with China that might hit bases. Homeland, Peter App, per Reuters. What? Okay, that doesn't sound like we're just in a trade war anymore. And this doesn't sound like this would be a reason that markets would be pushing up higher. That being said, also another thing to take into consideration, we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but NASDAQ market is pushing up, right? But why? That is the question that I continue to ask myself. Why are markets pushing up if news is not getting better? There's uncertainty with the deal between China because China is not a fan that the US is not allowing the Chinese-made company chip to be sold in the US. And China said all deals are off if you do not change this policy. So we're still waiting to hear the Trump administration respond to this. Like, there has been no deal that has been signed. But yet markets are still choosing to push up. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen, obviously, the bond yields continue to go up. And that's why we're seeing so much uncertainty in the market right now, aside from the stock market. The stock market is performing great. The stock market is incredibly bullish, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Anytime that the market sells off during the pre-market session, it recovers by end of day. We talked about this on Sunday, and we talked about it on Monday as well because of the Moody's downgrade, where it would have not surprised me based off of history, based off of the negative GDP report. We started off 2% in the red during the pre-market session, and then by the time the market closed, we ended in the green. Markets are irrational, but markets are bullish, and you either work with it or you fight it, right? And this is where you just have to be very careful. Do you think, like, it's all based off of your timeline, do you think, knowing how much markets have recovered, how much uncertainty is currently present, do you think that the market is a good deal right now? Big picture. I'm not talking about intraday anymore. I'm talking about big picture. I think anyone with common sense would be self-aware enough that they would be like, oh, okay, you're right. Like, we're pretty much almost at all-time highs. There's still a lot of uncertainty, and yet markets are still kind of consolidating up here. So what's the profit potential versus the risk potential? And that's the simple conversation I think you should ask yourself. It's not that you should sell everything. It's not that it's definitely not that you should short, right? Just because I short doesn't mean that you should. And again, I will never encourage beginners to blindly jump into a short just because I might see value in a pullback. But the thing that I think everyone should be taking into consideration is not just how the market is performing intraday, how bullish and how aggressive the markets are recovering, but every day, as soon as markets close, markets begin to sell off. Pre-market sessions, markets are selling off. Right when the market opens, markets begin to recover. And then it just puts us back in this consolidation range. So if you really think about it, for the past 3 to 4 days, markets haven't really made much progress. They've just been consolidating. So ask yourself, the trades that you are choosing to take, the investments that you are choosing to make, are they putting you in a position to succeed regardless of the outcome? And what I mean by that is the risk to reward ratio actually worth it? Because I think when you begin to look at a lot of these companies, PLTR, and we look at previous patterns, we're incredibly overbought, a lot of pullback potential. And even NVIDIA recently, again, there's definitely some upside potential based off previous highs of 153. I'm long on NVIDIA. I don't plan to sell my NVIDIA long, but I also don't plan to buy more at 137. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, right? Like all the crypto bros right now, I just saw a tweet being sent out by Michael Saylor And he was saying, if you're not buying at all-time highs, Bitcoin, you're leaving money on the table. Are you like, this is the same guy that told people to take out an additional mortgage on their home and put it all into Bitcoin when Bitcoin was at all-time highs. Do people not talk about risk to reward? Like, there is, no question you can make money doing anything, right? Because yeah, sure, Bitcoin can go from 109 to, let's say, 115. Let's be realistic. It can do that, right? But at what's the risk exposure? Well, what if Bitcoin goes from 109 based off previous patterns, and then it comes crashing right back down to 90? So you're telling me that for $4,000 to $5,000, so 4 to 5 is what you potentially could make, best case scenario, it could sell off 10 to 15 to 20K. And that is the point that I'm trying to make, is that there's nothing wrong with being invested. I'm invested in a handful of different big tech companies. I'm not invested in Bitcoin, but that's just my preference. To each their own, right? But nonetheless, you understand overbought and oversold levels, and you just take your position size into consideration. It's not that you should blindly sell your position, because if your intention is to hold long term, then stay true to that. There's no reason you need to sell. There's no reason that you need to short. But buying at overbought levels when the risk outweighs the reward, to me, that just doesn't make sense. One of the trades that I'm taking today, just so you guys can clearly see right now, one of the trades that I've been really focused on is UNH. UNH received some negative news. It sold off during the pre-market session. I took a short. I also took a short during today's live trading session. And then now I'm actually long. I'm up around $10,000 on the day. We'll see how we end up closing the day. This is not a normal day for me. This is a really big day, but I'm very happy to it. I'm really happy for it, right? So if it begins to go up, it has a previous resistance of right around 309 to 310. I'll probably take profits there, and I'm just scalping UNH. So when it becomes overbought, then I'll enter a short and I'll short it into the downside. So I don't recommend it for beginners. UNH is a very volatile stock right now, and I definitely do not recommend shorting for beginners because it comes at a greater form of risk. The biggest thing that I'm trying to make or express within this video is understand the big picture, and are you putting yourself in a position to succeed? There's nothing wrong with taking intraday trades. But if you are deciding to invest at these overbought levels for most of these big companies or even Bitcoin, what is your risk to reward? Only a question that you need to ask yourself. If you still think that it's worth the risk, at that point, you're an adult. You can do whatever it is that you want. It's not that I don't care. It's that now you're informed. So if you're okay with tolerating that risk, knowing what it is, then that's all we ever want for you, right? Is that you are aware of not just your profit potential, but your exposure to risk. But I think many of you, when you begin to do the math, you'll see that, hey, you're right, this really isn't worth it, right? Maybe I do want to be a little bit more patient and wait for a more unique opportunity. Remember, I'm not saying that you need to short. I'm just saying that maybe when markets retrace, they become a little bit more oversold. If you have cash on the sidelines, then you're able to take advantage of that dip by opportunity. Also, hedge fund managers have added $25 billion to short equity futures exposures over the last 3 COT reports. So the largest, at least in the last decade. So it looks like big hedge funds are taking big shorts. The thing that I also want you to take into consideration is pay attention to the bond market, pay attention to the gold market. Those things are signaling very different indicators than what the stock market is currently signaling. So just my 2 cents. And it shows currency option traders now have the most bearish 12-month outlook for the US dollar in history, which is, again, another reason why gold is going up so much. So, and I'm sure you guys saw the news that Israel plans to attack Iran. This was announced yesterday. They plan to attack their nuclear bases, is what I've understood. And that is also what caused like crude oil to skyrocket. So there's a ton of things that are going on right now, a lot of uncertainty, but again, the market, a lot of hope. There's nothing wrong with taking advantage of the market within the day, right? Make your money, get in, get out, make your money and bounce. But if you are deciding to invest and you're just starting to invest at these levels, I would just be a little cautious. That's all I'm here to encourage you to do. Take the downside risk into consideration, right? So wish you guys nothing but the best. Hope that we're in a thumbs up. Hope to see you for tomorrow's live trading session. We talk about this and a lot more every single morning right at market open. So if you ever want to watch me trade live, click that second link and I'll see you tomorrow at market open for that live session. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.